Each environment has pros and cons and can help you to grow in the future. Have a plan in your career. Hello again, that's me, Michael. Welcome back in my YouTube channel where we deep dive into the design world. Today I'm gonna give you an inside scoop of what it's like to work in a startup world versus an agency and versus a corporate world. And I hope at the end you will have a better understanding of each category and what is suit you the most. And hopefully that will help you to guide you in your next experience. I gained all this experience by working since over 12 years in all these different situations in Canada and in France. But before we deep dive into the topic, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Let's go. And by the way, I hope you like my setup. Let me know in the comment below. Let's start about the startup world. And this is pretty fresh, by the way. So recently I was working in a startup and it was really exciting. If you want to work in a startup environment, be prepared to having a very fast-paced environment where you have to be multifunction. You have to be a one-man army as a designer and adapt to very different topic and pivot sometimes the decision quickly. This is very exciting if you want to learn fast and having the opportunity to test different tools and methodology quickly, be very independent and having a lot of ownership on your own project. It's a perfect environment to having a rapid growth. And also it's a great environment if you're a senior and if you're looking for a higher salary. And in a startup, if you're a junior designer, this is not maybe the right place for you because you're gonna lack of mentoring and guidance. But by the way, if you're looking for mentoring, I'm giving mentoring for you junior designer. So don't hesitate to drop a comment below and reach out to me. I will be happy to help you in your growth in your startup environment, for example. It's also a place where you have to wear multiple hats. So be ready to adapt to various situations and responsibility all by yourself. It's a very exciting but also very stressful environment. And in a startup world, you can run out of cash quickly. So be quick on your feet, and even the company tell you to be involved, that this is a family, we're gonna build something great. You have to believe in the company. Remember that there are sometimes running of the cash and you need to protect yourself. And remember to having a B plan if something go wrong in the startup, which can happen often. By the way, guys, if you really like my work, don't forget to drop a comment below and let me know what you think about the agency versus the startup versus the in-house or any other topic that you have in mind that you would like to discuss with me. So let's continue to the video and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you're looking for a place where you have a lot of designers and you can learn from them and having different clients, agency is the best spot. Agency is, in this case, the best situation for you. You will have the opportunity to having different clients and working for different industry and maybe building a killer portfolio. Agency is a great place for skyrocketing your career. So it's a perfect place for a junior designer or looking for having a great network, learning new skills very quickly and having support from other senior designers. It's also a great place if you want to having a fun environment where you have a lot of money and you can do activity with your team. It's a great place to extend your network. But of course, there are some downside of working for an agency. Like working on different projects can be very stressful and not allow you to really deep dive into a topic or very focused. In the startup world, this is a place where you can actually really focus, but in agency, you have to be all over the place. You have to jump from one client to another and not necessarily the time to iterate on the long run for the same client. So you will have to deliver fast and move forward to another client. This can be very frustrating. You will have the pressure to meeting tight deadline and assist to many meetings. It's a great place at the beginning of your career if you're a junior designer or intermediate and you want to learn fast. And also if you work for a big agency, you can get a lot of good perks. And in agency, it's difficult to having a work-life balance where the agency is sometimes required to stay very late at work and finish the project because the client asks. And to my surprise, in Canada is actually a better environment for the work-life balance than in France that I used to work for. In the corporate world, stability and structure are the center, are the most important thing. Working in the corporate world offers you a big financial stability and also a big salary. You have impressive resources for user research, for example, and the opportunity to work on a massive impact. In corporate, you have a big sense of hierarchy and structure. And this can really slow down your creativity and your decision making. It's a very political situation where you have to learn how to navigate between all these different priorities and create networking to move forward in your project. This can be very time consuming and stressful, where you have to fight for your idea instead of building your ideas and see the result quickly. You're not gonna work in a fast-paced environment in corporate world. But if you like the corporate world, this is the place where you can gain a very big title and get promoted. Not everyone is comfortable with that. So be aware and prepare before entering into the corporate world. As you can see, be a designer in all these three categories has pros and cons. It's not set in the stone. In your career, you will have the opportunity to switch from a category, from a startup to agency to corporate, and go back to agency or go back to startup if you like. But I want to let you know that working in the startup can be a very good boost if you want in the future working in the corporate world. Corporate companies sometimes hire people who work in the startup because they think they can accelerate their growth and produce faster their product. Each environment has pros and cons and can help you to grow in the future. Have a plan in your career. Are you able to identify your strengths, your work styles, and your long-term goal? Let me know in the comment below. Consider what exciting you the most. Remember, your career is not set in stone. You can always transition from an environment to another environment. Remember, don't try to copy others. Find your own path. And lastly, remember that your personal taste and value can change over time. Your situation, if you're having kids, maybe you want to having a more stable situation, and switching from startup to corporate could be a good opportunity or not, depending to you. So what about you? What is your career goal? What is your value? What you're looking forward in your career path? Let me know in the comment below. In the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click here for the next video.